So one of the first things you can do to secure your house starts with the front door. If you look at the front door, it looks solid. This one's solid. It's fiberglass, I believe. And almost every door, when they come, if you look around, inside of this frame, you see a board here. It goes up and around under here and down. So that's a 3/4 inch board. And when these doors come, they come with that frame already set. And so what happens is these, there's a hole for the door that's usually 1 inch to 2 inches. It leaves 1 to 2 inches of room around there to slide this door in. So if you've got 1 inch, 1.5 inches behind this, they usually fill it with little filler pieces called shims. So they might have some shims here, some shims down here, and down here, and down there. And then there's gaps in between. This is what the frame is, all the way around the door, and they just slide this in the slot. You can see all of them have this little, looks like 3/4 inch board around it. And so if the hinges are only hooked, into this, and they're clear here on the edge, if somebody kicks it, it's going to just break that little bit of pine right out. But if you have a 3 or 4 inch screw through here and into a board, you might have a gap of about this thickness, but then you've got a 2x4s about this thick, and if you can get that screw through that gap and over into the other side, and if you've got 4 here, 4 up top, and 4 in the bottom, you're going to be much more secure. And then if you've got 4 holding the strike plate into the wall, it's going to break somebody's foot before they get in. And then when you put in when you look at the hinges, let's pull one of those hinges out. We'll pull this hinge out. You'll see how heavy duty these screws are. So that's the size of the screw. About the size of a nickel, maybe. It's not focusing in. Okay, so one of the things you can do to secure these doors, well, let me back up. So if somebody comes in and, well, this part right here that I was talking about, this frame, it's thicker here than here, but this is where the screws go in. This is about 3/4 of an inch thick, usually pine or something like that. And so if somebody kicks the door, this is the only thing holding the hinges in. So they can kick it and it'll just blast this piece of wood out, and 1 or 2 kicks and that door can be blasted into the house. Same thing on this side. There's just usually just a catch plate here with a couple of screws. Might be 4 screws, might be 2 screws, depending on it, what kind of a door it is. So you've got those 2 holding this side, and you might have anywhere from 3, it's usually 4 on each of these. So you've got 12 here, yes, 12 on this side, 2 to 4 on this side. I've got an extra piece here for a deadbolt. But if somebody kicks that and there's only this long of a screw holding that plate in, it can easily just break this piece clear out. You can see this, I don't know if you can see that or not. You can see a crack right there. But let me show you what I've done to to make it more secure instead of just this. So I'll set that right there. So I can put this down. Look at the difference there. So one way you can make the door more secure and safer for you is you get a 3 to a 4-inch screw. These are 3-inch. Some people put in 3.5-inch. Left a lot of dust right here. I won't say that. So a 3-inch screw. Somebody tries to kick this in. Where is this screw screwed into? If you're screwing them on this side, you not only go into this 3/4 inches, but behind this there's a 2x4 or other thick board that's 1 3/4 inches thick, 1.5 to 1 3/4 inches thick. If you screw this in there, it will go back through the 3/4 inch board and into the thicker board. Let me get the drill, and we'll just screw this one in. So imagine that if you got 4 of those into that thicker board, and remember you might have a gap of 1 inch behind this board right here. So you've got 3/4 inch, an extra inch. You might be going in 1 inch, 1.5 inches if you've only got a 3-inch screw. So you might want to get a 3.5 or 4-inch to make sure you're deep into that board behind. So you bury a 3.5 or 4-inch screw in those 4, those 4, those 4, and you put them over here. So if you've got a deadbolt, you've got 8 screws there that are all 3.5 to 4 inches long, and they're all going into the heavier duty wood behind here. And if somebody kicks that, they're probably going to break their foot, and chances are they won't get in. But just doing that one simple thing, replacing the screws in your door, will give you much more security regardless of what anybody does, try to bang on the door or try to kick it in. So anyway, most doors are like that. Pretty standard stuff. Door with the frame around it, and those screws that I showed you on those hinges are those standard little ones that's like those, and they're not going to keep anybody but very small people out. They'll hold the door up and keep it in service for years and years, and you may never in 20-30 years have a problem with them. But if you want to be secure and make sure nobody can get in unless you're ready for them to come in, use the big ones. Anyway, thanks for watching. Hope that helps. Hope you have a more secure door. And leave any notes in the comments down below about what you've done with your doors to make them more secure. But this is by far the cheapest one. One other note is that you may need to use a screwdriver, not a screwdriver. What am I talking about? You might need a drill to pre-drill the holes. If you do, make sure you're getting one that's smaller than the screw in diameter. If you drill too big of a hole, this will just slide in and slide out and won't hold on to anything. So get something that's a smaller diameter than the screw, drill it, and then screw this in. Make sure it's buried deep. Anyway, thanks for watching.